The film stars Jessica Chastain, Matt Damon, Kate Mara and Michael Peeples or Minusa. The film is set at the landing site of the shuttle Ares 3, Acidalia Planitia, Mars. The crew learns that a storm is approaching. The storm's intensity and high winds lead Commander Lewis to order a mission abort. Watney argues for waiting it out and brings up the rear. Mark Watney is declared dead after the Hermes crew fails to reach Mars. NASA Director Teddy Sanders, Jeff Daniels, holds a press conference to announce the loss. Watney wakes up on Mars on what is Sol 21, Mission Day 21, after the storm has passed. He's been impaled by part of an antenna, which still protrudes from his abdomen. In a painful procedure, Watney pulls the antenna out, uses forceps to fish out a piece that broke off in the wound. Watney has almost a year's worth of food, or a little longer if he rations. Luckily for him, he's a botanist and devises a plan to grow potatoes. He sits down to make a video log, where he outlines the situation. Mars mission director Vincent Kapoor, Chiwetel Ejiofor, talks to Sanders about getting satellite time to locate Watney's body. Sanders refuses on the grounds that the satellite feeds are public. Kapoor later meets with Sanders after she discovers evidence of activity in satellite photos of the Ares 3 site. Watney has planted potatoes using Martian soil and vacuum-sealed packets of the crew's feces as fertilizer. Needing more water for the potato crop, he burns hydrazine rocket fuel. A byproduct of the reaction is water. Watney notes that this explosive tendency is the reason that NASA does not use pure hydrogen. Mars rover finds old Pathfinder probe that stopped transmitting in 1997. Using handwritten signs for the Pathfinder's camera, he is able to send a message to NASA. NASA uses this system to tell him how to hack the rover's operating system. Watney's story becomes a worldwide sensation. His communications with NASA are logged. At the request of PR director Annie Montrose, he uses the Pathfinder's camera to take a spacesuited selfie. The crew aboard Hermes has spent the last couple of months quietly flying back toward Earth while keeping in touch with their loved ones. The flight director of Ares 3, Mitch Henderson, Sean Bean, contacts the crew and informs them that Watney is alive. The food he's growing plus the rations in the hab will run out in a bit over 900 days. The folks at NASA determine that they can reach Watney by Sol 868. Back on Mars, things begin to go bad for Watney when the habitat's worn-out airlock explodes. He uses duct tape to seal the cracks and stumbles back to the habitat to discover his potato crop frozen and dead. With less food, he now figures he can last only a little more than 300 sols. NASA and JPL work overtime and quickly launch a probe to resupply Watney. To make their launch window, they bypass routine inspections. Moments after launching, the probe's trajectory shifts severely and it swerves off course and explodes. In China, two directors from the Chinese National Space Administration witness the explosion and discuss helping NASA by offering their classified booster rocket technology. Astrodynamicist Rich Purnell, Donald Glover, devises a plan to accelerate the returning Hermes around Earth, gaining a gravitational boost and sending it back to Mars to get Watney. The Chinese rocket will resupply the Hermes for its extended voyage. Sanders is angry with Henderson, who he assumes sent the plan to Hermes. He asks for Henderson's resignation when the mission is over. Then he's forced to announce that NASA is sending Hermes back to Mars. 7 months on Mars, Watney has lost a lot of weight, has grown a lot of facial hair, and his teeth are rotting. He records a video log asking Commander Lewis to let his parents know of his fate. He packs up the rover and leaves the Ares 3 site, having spent 461 sols there. Watney has to remove 5,000 kilograms of weight from the MOV to make it light enough to reach Hermes orbit. He jettisons most of the seats, all the navigation and control systems, and replaces the nose cone airlock with a tarp. Watney is launched into orbit by Martinez. The MOV comes up too low to reach the Hermes spaceship. Vogel constructs a quickly made sugar and oxygen explosive to blow the front hatch. Watney returns to Earth about 1 year later as an instructor to aspiring astronauts. He confirms that he did in fact grow food using his own excrement and humorously says he doesn't want to discuss that aspect of the mission again. During the closing credits, we see the characters years later as they watch the launch of Ares v. Kapoor. Montrose, Park, and Sanders watch from NASA along with Guo Ming and Zhu Tao. Henderson is retired and golfing with his son, golfing with his son, golfing with his son, golfing with his son.